Entertainment Soldier here, and I am back to talk about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 10, the final episode of this season, and my thoughts on it. What the actual fuck was that? That was boring, pointless, fucking annoying, and predictable. Just completely predictable. I mean, what the fuck? Oh, and law-breaking. Completely law-breaking. And what really pisses me off is Strange New World has already done a type of episode like this, with this particular species. And it's just so fucking dull. And some people are going to say, well, it had a horror feel to it. Like, I'm sorry, if you got scared at any point during this fucking episode, how fucking sad are you? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm just utterly disappointed with this episode. And to think, like, last week's episode was really bad. It really was. But, I mean, if you're going to do an episode like that, to really screw over Star Trek fans like that. Oh, and by the way, to YouTubers and to people on Twitter who keep trying to defend last week's episode with there's always been goofy episodes in Star Trek. Yes, there has been, but they kind of were entertaining and they kind of were better written. Okay, so that's not an excuse. It was a terrible episode. You really need to accept that. And the defense of there's been goofy episodes before. One, that was from an era of Star Trek when we used to get fantastic episodes every week. Two, that was when the Star Trek fandom didn't want to kill the people writing the show. And three, it was a united fan base. So let's not fucking pretend that this era of Star Trek is in any way healthy enough to do goofy episodes, because it just isn't. But back to this week's pointless fucking episode, because it really did feel pointless at some points. I mean, it's utter garbage. It was an utter garbage episode. Last season's final episode was 10 times better than this one. And that fucking final episode had so many fucking problems. But this, it feels like they weren't even trying to do anything here. I mean, it was a fucking slog to get through. You could feel the minutes going by, and we had this ridiculous fucking cameo, which is introducing us to a certain character. If you watch the episode, you know what I mean. And that is not how you introduce that character. Yeah, you should have waited for season 3. This was a dumb time to introduce that character. But yeah, I mean, I could tell it was going to happen by the end. I could tell who was infected. It was just so fucking boring. There was no imagination put in this episode. It felt so... I mean, for God's sake, you can see the budget has been cut for this season with the ridiculous town they were in. I mean, it was just so fucking bad. It really did feel like they weren't even trying anymore at this point. It seems like they put most of their effort into that ridiculous fucking singing episode. It really did. And the law breaking in this episode. I mean, there comes a point when you have to ask the people writing this, have you ever watched the original series? Like, you're so concentrated on these enemies, but you didn't go back and watch that one episode, and you've put in more fucking things to suggest Kirk should have known who these people were. The Enterprise should have known what that ship was they were chasing in that episode. It's over the fucking top bad at how much they've screwed up this particular species, and introducing them in the first place was just dumb. And the CGI for this particular species it's cheap. You can tell there's CGI. It's just like you could have put someone in a suit. I mean, you didn't have to go this CGI with this species. You could have just put a guy in a suit, made it look a little bit decent. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. But doing the CGI crap, it just feels cheap. It looks cheap. It just looked completely ridiculous at some points. I'm just gutted. I mean, again, last season, it was a bad episode, but you at least felt like they were trying to do something. With this episode, it doesn't feel like they were bothered. It seems like they were just trying to get to the next season at this point. So, I've been rattling on for a bit too long now. Let's go into spoilers now. What would I give this episode out of 10? It's a 0. I didn't like anything about this episode. It's a 0 out of 10. It was pointless. I am never going to come back and rewatch this episode. And to end where it did, I mean, some people are going to be celebrating, saying, oh, I can't wait for next season's. Like, please. We know what Pike's going to do. We know what's going to happen. I just don't care. Oh, and the ridiculous chapel death shit. Really? But anyway, 0 out of 10. Pointless episode. Let's just get on with these spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So, this episode starts off on a fucking colony planet where a bunch of people have decided to live in a town that is exactly made in old Miss Western American style. Yes, because that is exactly what, we watch Star Trek for. To literally watch a small American town. Because that's so science fiction. My God. Just say your budget got cut and you just couldn't make anything else. So you just picked some random fucking town in Canada, I'm guessing, and just said, let's pretend that this is how the colony decided to live. I mean, it looked fucking ridiculous. This is how people wanted to live in a colony outside of Earth. I mean, come on, you couldn't have tried. I mean, yes, do you remember the old DS9 episodes when they literally fought on the same planet every fucking time? It was always a desert. Well, it was always pretty much filmed in the fucking desert of Vegas. The desert, it was always the same basic desert, but it always felt alien. It always felt different. The same place every time for most of the fucking action scenes, but they always tried to make it seem like it was an alien planet. With this episode, now let's not bother with that. Let's just say they're just living like Americans. It's like, what the fuck? So you're not going to try? Fucking hell. So Pike's girlfriends come here with her ship to make sure the colony is safe, because apparently they are trying to join the Federation and they want the protection of the Federation. But some people are not too sure about joining the Federation because that might put a target on their back. So the Pike's girlfriend ship is just there to kind of, wave the flag for the Federation and help the colony out. Yeah. Also, Chapel's there getting a ride back to Earth so she can do her sponsorship degree, whatever thing on Earth. So she's there giving the kids some, vaccines for something, and Pike's girlfriend sends her back up to her ship, and she then makes a call to her boyfriend Pike, where they start talking about the colony and shit. And then whilst Pike's talking to her, the signal gets lost. Pike just thinks she's hung up, or the signal's lost. And then the colony is attacked by some mysterious ship dropping some mysterious thing on the ground. And then it turns out it's a Gorn attack. The Gorn have attacked the Pike's girlfriend's ship, destroyed it, and have now taken over the colony. She calls for assistance. Pike races over there to save his girlfriend and her crew. And then when they get there, they get a message from Starfleet. Oh, and the Gorn show up as well in a hunter ship. and the Federation tell them to stay on their side of the border, because it turns out, it turns out the Federation have been in contact with the Gorn government and have decided to create a neutral fucking zone between these two civilizations. Okay, what the fuck? So, hold on. So not only now do we have knowing the Gorn, we now know the Federation government has been in contact with the Gorn government. Okay, you're making the episode when the Gorn are introduced really fucking ridiculous. How the fuck does Kirk not fucking know about the fucking Gorn? How? If you're telling me right now that the Gorn have got communication with the Federation government, how the fuck does Kirk not know about this species? How do they not know about the ship designs? Because, again, in this episode, we then find out the Federation have got emergency protocols for the Gorn. Not just that, emergency weapons for the Gorn and emergency scanners for the fucking Gorn. Okay, you're really taking the piss now, Strange New Worlds writers. You're really making it ridiculous how much the Federation know about the fucking Gorn. And how Kirk, who again has 4 members of his fucking crew who know who the fucking Gorn are. And yet when the Gorn attack Set Click 3, they have no fucking idea who these people are. This is fucking ridiculous. It is law breaking, and again, it doesn't do any damage to the real Star Trek. It really doesn't, because I can throw this away. But come on, are you telling me nobody in that writing staff, nobody has watched that episode? It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, so the Enterprise is told to stand down and stay on its side of the border, and the Gorn have now taken over the planet, and so Pike now calls an emergency meeting to talk about how to deal with the fucking Gorn. Their plan is to Pike's plan is to basically head over the border anyway to save his girlfriend, and her crew, but they need to find a way to get there. They also need to find a way to get over there without the Gorn seeing them. So a plan is devised by Erica to use a shuttle and pretend to be debris flying through the debris field of the Federation ship the Gorn destroyed, and get close to the planet and then fly down and try to pick up as many survivors as they can. And also Pike then pulls out 2 boxes from the Federation Gorn protocol, which apparently now on every Federation ship they now have a Gorn protocol, which is a box full of rifles that can kill Gorn and scanners which can detect Gorn. And grenades that they don't use in this episode. Okay. Yes, they have fucking boxes on every staff ship for the fucking Gorn, and yet when Kirk first meets the Gorn, it's so fucking ridiculous at this point. I mean, my God. You can't keep this show as canon. You just can't. This is too much at this point. It's too much. Kirk should know who the fucking Gorn are at this point. And if some arsehole says, well, he wasn't on the Enterprise, they're on every fucking Federation ship. This Gorn protocol shit. Don't fucking tell me that shit. They're on every ship. Kirk should fucking know. Because last time I checked, isn't he the 2nd officer on another ship? So, fucking hell. It is so fucking stupid. Anyway, so Spock also decides that he wants to search for Nurse Chapel because she was on the Federation ship that was destroyed, and we try to go down this stupid road of, has Chapel died even though she's in the original series? So obviously she is not fucking dead. So this whole, deaf, pathetic, pretend thing, I just don't care. We know she's alive. Whatever. So Spock's going to scan for survivors on the ship, and Pike is going to head down with Erica and the Doctor to go rescue the survivors. So they use the shuttle, head through a debris field. Erica pilots the ship down onto the planet. They land on the planet and they head into the American small town to search for survivors. We see the small towns in ruins. It looks like the colony tried to put up a fight. Might have been interesting to see that fight, but whatever. Tried to put up a fight, but couldn't hold the Gorn back. There's blood everywhere, and then the children Gorn attack, and they're able to stop them immediately because the new Gorn phasers. Yes, they have Gorn phasers now. Fucking hell. And they do. We then find out one of the Gorn's tactics, which is to put some sort of device on a planet to block communication when they're invading worlds, so you can't transport or talk to anybody or communicate with anybody outside on the planet. So pretty much makes the Gorn invincible if they can take your communications offline, which they have. So Pike needs to find a way to destroy that, or just find a way to get the survivors off the planet without destroying that. But anyway, so they look through the town. The Gorn start attacking, but they fight them off. They then run into this, I think it was a hairdresser's or something, and then bump into the shield thing, where we are introduced to somebody. Okay, it's fucking... it's so fucking annoying. It's Scotty. Yep, this is how they introduce Scotty. Yes, Scotty is on this planet somehow, and he has managed to create some sort of device that confuses the Gorn to not detect the humans that are in this barbershop, and the shield also blocks any Gorn from getting into the barbershop, or at least into the back of the barbershop. Don't know why you would put this at the front of the barbershop, but who knows why. Anyway, so Pike says, well done for creating the shield, now how about turn it off so we can get in? Or is it let on? I don't fucking know or care. So he turns off the shield, and this is how we're introduced to Montgomery Scott. Yeah, he's just, he was randomly here, by the way. Randomly. Because he tells us his whole backstory. He was on a science vessel that got attacked by the Gorn, and Scotty was a coward and left his ship to burn, basically, and ran to the planet to hide. That is not a fucking joke, by the way. Yes, again, his ship got destroyed, he ran away and hid on the planet. I mean, they really do make Scott out to be a bit of a coward in this episode. I don't know why. He's never shown cowardice in any other fucking show or film he's been in, but apparently in this episode, he's apparently a little bit of a coward. Okay, I mean, that's what you really want to do to one of Starfleet's best mechanics of all time. Fine. So they go to the back. Pike sees his girlfriend, gives her a hug. How you doing? Blah, 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 blah. She says, why did you come here? To rescue you, obviously. Oh, and you did send a message to get to the planet. And I don't understand why you're so pissed at Pike for coming. Like, you sent a message to any Federation ship, can you come help us? But you're pissed at Pike for actually responding to your emergency hail. What do you want? Maybe you should have made the message clearer. Could any other Federation ship other than the Enterprise come and help us? I mean, it's his job. Jesus. Anyway. So, they are pretty much stuck on the planet. The Gorn are pretty much in full control, and the shuttle is not got enough space to pick up everybody that's left on the colony that hasn't been eaten by the Gorn. So how the hell do they get the survivors off without, taking out the scanner? Well, it turns out Scotty has created some sort of device on his shuttle that makes him invisible to the Gorn. And it's something to do with light. Apparently, lizards can't see different spectrums in the light, and Scotty has found a way, or at least found a frequency to use that makes them invisible to the Gorn. So pretty much like a cloaking device for humans. So Pike decides that they need to get to Scotty's shuttle to grab this device so they can get to use it to make the ship invisible to the Gorn, so they can get the shuttle to lift off and head back to the Enterprise. But then Pike's girlfriend has to remind Pike there's still not enough room on the shuttle to get them all off, and Pike says we'll get to that at some point. So they head out of the barbershop. Scotty volunteers to go with them because Pike doesn't know how to get the device off of the shuttle safely without having to rip it out. So he volunteers. He acts a bit of a coward, but whatever. And Pike throws him a phaser, and they head off to the shuttle. I know I'm sounding boring. I know I am, but this episode was just boring. It really was. I mean, my God, you're fighting in a fucking small town where the bare minimum you've done is just make it seem like it's been attacked. Okay, I give you credit for that, but you couldn't have done anything else. Made it a bit more science fiction-y. I don't know, put some sort of transporter or technology in the middle. Maybe I don't fucking know, okay? You know, in fucking Deep Space Nine, they didn't have to try that hard to make you feel like you're on an alien planet. Nor did they try that hard with fucking Next Generation, and you always felt like you were on an alien planet. This just feels like there was no effort put in. Just make it look like an American town. That's it. And that's how we'll explain why this colony looks like an American town. It is so fucking boring. There is no effort here. None. And that's what really pisses me off. I can at least give you points for trying. And again, your budget is 10 times bigger than Next Gen's budget or Deep Space Nine. And they did a better job with literally nothing. Oh my fucking God, this is so fucking easy. Anyway. Oh, by the way, did I mention Kirk's brother was also in this episode? Yeah, he was also in this episode. He basically was just there to pretend like he was a tough guy because he was like such a bitch the last time he met the Gorn. And this was supposed to be, I don't know, a redeeming episode for him. I mean, oh fucking K, I couldn't care less. I really couldn't. So anyway, Pike and his girlfriend and Scotty head off to the shuttle. Whilst this is all going on, back on the Enterprise, Spock has come up with some sort of way to take out the device on the planet, which is using the source section of the destroyed Federation ship, flying over there, putting some rockets on the saucer section to fly it down into the planet to destroy the Gorn's, what's it called? Jamming system. Whatever the fuck it's called. So Spock is going to jump over there in a suit and place all these rockets around the saucer section and fly it into the jamming system. So whilst this is going on the Enterprise and they've decided on a plan, on the destroyed Federation ship, we see that Chapel has survived. Yay, because there was a little bit of doubt she was dead. Obviously not. Fucking ridiculous. So she's alive on the ship, in sickbay, which apparently was destroyed, but apparently it's still there, okay. And, she looks around, sees that the systems are dying and she's running out of air, so she re-rigs a monitor and manages to create some sort of power to the air system to create enough air for an hour. And then she grabs a flashlight and starts flashing at the Enterprise, but then the flashlight dies, and then she kind of realizes she might be screwed. by the way, while she's doing all this shit, in the background you can literally see a spacesuit. You can literally see it. Why the fuck haven't you just gone to grab it and just head off to the Enterprise? You have air for an hour, but I'm guessing that suit has more. So why are we wasting time with a flashlight? You can see the fucking suit. Go and grab it, you stupid cow. But no, she just waits there, and then we see Spock flying over with a couple of rockets to place around the saucer section of Federation ship. He lands, he puts down one, then he flies around, puts down a couple more. Then Chapel finally heads off and grabs the fucking spacesuit that she should have gotten ages ago. Heads out to try to find Spock, because you see Spock heading down there with a rocket to place on the saucer section. And while she's walking around, she hears somebody's trying to get into a locked area. And when she thinks it's Spock, she runs over to greet him. Turns out it's a fucking Gorn in a spacesuit. And again, some people are going to say, oh, wasn't that CGI amazing? Get the fuck out of it. It's shit. Okay, it was shit. It's so fucking obviously CGI. Okay? I mean, could you at least have tried to get someone in a suit? Like, you didn't have to make the Gorn so... Oh. Anyway, is this the first time we're seeing, like, fully, grown-up Gorn? I don't remember the last time we saw the Gorn. Did we see the males? I mean, not the males. Did we see the adults? Because I know it was Hammer's death when they came. Well, I don't know. I think this is the first time the CGI looked like shit. It did. Anyway, so this Gorn's trying to get through this part of the ship, but it keeps saying access denied. And Chapel looks at this pathway she has to get to get to the bridge or something, but the Gorn is also there, and she doesn't want to, kind of wake up the Gorn to the fact she's there. And then we go over to Spock, who's in the bridge of the destroyed Federation ship, planting a rocket, and whilst he's planted it, we see in the background another Gorn, and then Spock kind of realises the Gorn has seen him. We get this really shitty fight between them, and then Chapel just turns up. She just turns up. I'm not even fucking lying. She just turns up. We don't find out what happened to the Gorn that was, trying to access that part of the ship. No, she just turns up out of nowhere. And whilst Spock is fighting this Gorn, his phaser got loose. So Chapel grabs the fucking phaser, shoots the fucking Gorn. Spock grabs some metal and hits the Gorn's face because he's wearing a breathing mask. Destroys the breathing mask, and the Gorn suffocates. I mean, not to, well, I'm just going to say it. How comes the Gorn can destroy a Federation ship and the Federation don't do a goddamn thing? Okay, I've been kind of thinking about this. Like, they had destroyed a Federation ship with no reason, but the Federation's just going to let this slide. It's like, fuck off would they do that? Like, what the fuck? They destroyed a Federation ship, killed hundreds of people, and are killing hundreds of people in the colony, and the Federation's best answer is, hey, we're going to, keep calm, and, I mean, for God's sake, the war that got started between the Klingons and the Federation was started for less. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, they destroyed a Federation ship and the Federation is just okay with it. It's just, no, they just wouldn't be. There would be a response. Not saying militarily, but at least there would be, I don't know, maybe a couple of Federation ships may have come in to help the fucking Enterprise. I mean, I know it's going to happen next season, but come on, they could have just done it. I mean, you could have had an epic battle. An epic space battle between the Gorn and the Federation. It would have been canon breaking, but maybe it would have been more interesting than just to have this boring, fucking walking, talking crap episode where I'm still having to deal with Spock and Chapel's stupid fucking relationship. Why am I having to listen to Spock saying he needs to apologise to Chapel, even though Chapel dumped him? What the fuck? Oh my god. This show is written by fucking sitcom writers. They have no fucking idea what they're doing with fucking sci-fi. This is so fucking dull. Anyway, where was it? Oh yeah, they killed the Gorn and the shit, and then the source section, they activate the rockets and it pushes the source section down onto the planet. We then get the scene where Pike, his girlfriend, and Scotty get to the shuttle, where Scotty tries to take apart the device he made, and then everybody then forgets that they are in a dangerous situation and puts down their rifles. Why would you do that? Like, why didn't you take extra people, Pike? Not saying you need to take 20 people, just one guy just to cover your back. Maybe Kirk's brother might have been interesting. Oh my god. So they put down all their rifles. A baby Gorn appears out of nowhere, and when it tries to attack Pike, his girlfriend gets in the way, and the Gorn does not attack and runs off, and Pike's girlfriend blocks the entrance of the shuttle to make sure that can't get in again. And when Pike tries to figure out what's happened, like, why didn't the Gorn attack you, the girlfriend keeps trying to, get Pike to drop it. But when she realises Pike's not going to drop it, she reveals that she has been infected with Gorn eggs. So she is pretty much a goner. But Pike says, no, you're not gonna. We're going to get you back up to the Enterprise and we're going to find a cure. Even though Hammers gave up and just threw himself off to save the crew, Pike is going to put his entire ship at risk for the woman he loves. I know a lot of people can say, well, wouldn't you do that? Yes, but I'm not a Starfleet captain, okay? It's a lot of different things when you're a captain of a ship. Pike should not have brought his girlfriend back because of the massive fucking risk she is now to his crew. But fuck it, right? So whilst Pike is pretty much having to deal with his girlfriend being infected, they get off the shuttle and pretty much just see the source section of his girlfriend's ship hit. The jamming device destroys it. The Enterprise then gets the ability to transport again. They transport everybody off the planet. Oh, they transport who they can off the planet, because the second transport for the rest of the survivors of the colony and Kirk's brother and Erica, their transporter is weird and green. And I think we all knew what was going to happen there. And they transport back Spock and Chapel, and Chapel's sent to medical quickly to deal with all the survivors and Pike's girlfriend. So Pike's back on the Enterprise. He talks to Chapel and tells her not to give up on his girlfriend because she's got a bunch of fucking lizards inside of her now. The girlfriend does try to tell Chapel that if she can't save her, to kill her straight away, and Chapel agrees to it, but also says she's not going to give up on her. They put her in a stasis field and pretty much make sure they keep an eye on her. Then when Pike gets up to the bridge, turns out the rest of the away team, Kirk's brother, Erica and the Doctor, and the rest of the colony have been taken by the Gorn. The Gorn have also sent reinforcements, so instead of one Gorn ship, there are 4 Gorn ships and a battle cruiser, so the Enterprise is outnumbered. And when Pike's pretty much told about the away team not getting back, he kind of freezes, doesn't know what to do. He's getting attacked by multiple Gorn ships, and the episode ends on a cliffhanger for next season. And that's how the episode ends. Pointless fucking episode. You could tell what was going to happen. And if they do save Pike's girlfriend, then doesn't that make Hammers a fucking moron for killing himself? I'm just saying. Hammers did the right thing. Pike's not gonna let his girlfriend do the right thing. I mean, this episode was boring. It was pointless. It was annoying. Oh, I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, Turns out, Magic Old Woman, she was Scotty's teacher, and I think we all know what's going to happen there. Scotty's only going to be a great engineer because a woman taught him how to be a great engineer. So yeah, the end of the season. Was this a good season? Fuck no, it wasn't. This was the worst of the two, and I really do think we're going to hear in a couple of weeks, couple of months, that season 3 of Strange New Worlds is going to be the final season. And as to what was the worst episode of the season, I would say it is a strong vote for 9. I think 9 is the worst episode, followed very closely by episode 2. The best episode of the season, it will have to be Joseph's episode with Joseph and Chapel talking about the Klingon War. I think that's the only decent episode of the season. I think, again, it shows us what we could have had if the writers of Discovery weren't such retards and had actually had 5 seasons of the Klingon War. But that was a massive missed opportunity. So, yes, best episode of the season was that one. And the worst episode of the season was episode 9. Yeah. Followed very closely by 2. So, yeah, this is a disaster for Star Trek, I kind of think. This season, again, you had a lot of goodwill from season 3 of Picard. A lot of goodwill. And I think you might have just evaporated it for this one season of Strange New Worlds. I think episode 9 was way too far. That is something you do when you have got 5 seasons behind you and you just want to do something different. You don't do it in season 2. So, season 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, bad. And I think it's over now. I think season 3 will be the last season. And maybe that's a really good thing. And that's the end of my video. If you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike this video, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do think about subscribing. And if you have a comment, leave it below and I'll get back to it as soon as I can. Entertainment World Soldier. Bye bye.